Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Noushad Chengodan. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic. As you know, economic policies, that is fiscal policy and monetary policy and their implications on Indian economy. This topic is very familiar to all of us because we are seeing these terms like fiscal stimulus packages. Similarly, monetary stimulus packages that designed by the RBI and the fiscal policy framed by the central government and so on. And similarly, we can see from the newspapers like Central Bank of India, that is Reserve Bank of India, cut the repo rate, or RBI adopts monetary expansionary policy or accommodative monetary policy and so on. Similarly, from the newspapers or the medias, we could understand that the Honorable Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman reduced the corporate tax from 30% to 22%. For what? To revive the economy of India from the ongoing economic slowdown. So, I took this topic because I am expecting a number of questions from this area for KAS, prelims as well as mains. And also this topic is very important for UPSC, civil service examinations and other competitive examinations. Okay. So let us start with a simple question. What is the primary goal of a government? What is the main goal of a government? In a simple words, we can say welfare of the people is the primary goal of any government. We know that modern governments are welfare oriented and they are supposed to perform enormous functions. For example, development of industry, advancement of infrastructural facilities in the country, other programs which focusing on empowerment of women or emancipation of women, child welfare programs, modernization of banking sector, and so on. Lots of programs are there. So, the goal of a particular government is to enhance the living standards of the people or make betterment of the life of the people. But I would like to ask another question. How a government realize or materialize these well-defined goals? Or in what ways the government can materialize or realize or ensure these goals? Can you answer to that question? Yeah, here the important thing is that, government can realize all these goals because in the hands of government there are economic policies. By using these economic policies, government can ensure better life of the people or improve the living standards of the people or protect the vulnerable segments of the society. Or by doing all these policies or framing or designing these economic policies, government can ensure development of industry, modernization of agriculture, and also enhance the capability or capacity of economies to produce goods and services, that is higher GDP, higher per capita income, and so on. So here the important question is that what are the policies that come under economic policies? Another simple question. See, economic policies mainly consist of two important policies. One is monetary policy. Here you should retain a very important point that monetary policy is designed or framed or checked out by the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, because which is the central bank of India. In America, the monetary policy is designed by the Federal Reserve System, that is the central bank of the USA. In the UK, it is Bank of England. In China, the real hero to design monetary policy that vested with the People's Bank of China. In Sweden, it is Riksbank of Sweden, and so on. See, Bank of Japan, that is also very famous, which is also designing monetary policies for Japanese economy. So, monetary policy, that is the policy designed by the central bank of the country. In India, it is done by the RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Okay. And in the case of fiscal policy, see, you can just think about the term FISC, F-I-S-C, FISC. That represents, public treasury or public exchequer. That means fiscal policy that come under the central government. That is the entrusted authority to design or to frame fiscal policy. No doubt it is central government. So one important thing for competitive examinations or other university examinations, please understand. Monetary policy is the policy of central bank. And its priority or primary goal is price stability. Please understand. It's a very important point. Price stability is the priority of monetary policy. What is price stability? Do you believe price stability means zero inflation and zero deflation? No. Price stability represents low and stable inflation in an economy. I would like to repeat. Stable or price stability represents a situation in which there is mild inflation in a country. For example, it is maybe up to 3 to 4%. That is, in the context of India, it is 4%. Monetary policy agreement between the RBI and central government, in which it is targeted inflation is there. Can you say what is the targeted inflation for India? Monetary policy agreement that is for 2016 to 2021 for 5 years. A medium inflation targeted rate is there in India. It is 4% with a flexibility of 2% for upper hand and 4 minus 2 for the, there is the tolerant level of inflation. That is, RBI and the government set a target 4 plus 2 or 4 minus 2. That is the comfort zone of inflation in India. So, mild inflation or essential inflation is very important for an economy. Growing economy means there should be mild inflation. It is very essential for producer, because mild inflation actually give incentives for the entrepreneurs or producers to produce more goods and services or to start new business, because the price of the commodities are increasing in a little bit. And in the case of consumers or laborers, they are getting a higher wages because economy is in good shape. So every economic agents are so happy. And mild inflation, or it is also known as essential inflation. Growing economy should be coupled with mild inflation. If that inflation beyond a particular limit, it is really harmful to an economy. Right. Okay. Anyhow, See, understand fiscal policy. Here, the real hero is central government, and the priority of fiscal policy is economic growth, GDP growth. Please understand. Okay. Now let us discuss. It is really very interesting. What is monetary policy? How can we define monetary policy? Monetary means that is associated with money supply. In India, which authority is entrusted to issue currencies? Definitely it is RBI, Reserve Bank of India. So we can define a monetary policy like this. Monetary policy is the process by which monetary authority of a country, generally a central bank, controls the supply of money in the economy by exercising its control over interest rates in order to maintain price stability and achieve high economic growth. That is, central bank of the country makes adjustments in the supply of money. That means, based on the economy movements, for example, if there is higher level of inflation, then RBI will contract money supply by using some monetary policy techniques like CRR, SLR and so on. So sometimes economy may be under crisis. You can see the present economy shape, economic slowdown that we have discussed elaborately in the previous video, in which we have discussed economic slowdown, recession, depression, growing economy and so on. So sometimes the RBI follows what? Expansionary monetary policy. That means RBI takes measures to expand money supply by lowering interest rates. That is, interest rate actually, the cost of rising capital. Okay. So monetary policy, that is simply make adjustments in money supply and makes influence on the rate of interest. And that policy actually trying to ensure price stability, which is essential or prerequisite for higher economic growth. That is the main goal, price stability and higher economic growth. Then another simple question is that I would like to ask a simple question. What are the important monetary policy techniques? Can you say? That is credit control techniques. We can simply say monetary policy techniques or credit control technique. This is the very important topic for any competitive examination. We can expect number of questions for prelims as well as for mains. So we have two important credit control techniques that are extensively adopted by the RBI. One is quantitative credit control techniques and the second one qualitative credit control techniques. Okay. Are there any differences between quantitative and qualitative credit control techniques? We are going to discuss that point. See, what is quantitative? It is also known as general credit control techniques. General credit control techniques. For example, the quantitative or general instruments of credit control are intended to influence the total volume of credit in circulation and the cost of credit. That means it will affect the entire economy by making changes in the total supply of money in circulation. Total supply of money. That is, it will influence the credit creation capacity of the commercial bank. That is, credit means the loan that's sanctioned by commercial banks. That is, these policies may affect the volume of credit. Sometimes, it will enlarge the volume of credit or contract or reduce the volume of credit. And it also affects what? cost of credit that I have already mentioned. Cost of credit means interest rate. Okay. And what are the major instruments that come under quantitative credit control techniques or general credit control techniques? Please understand. The instruments or the measures or the techniques that come under quantitative credit control techniques. See, bank rate. It is also known as discount rate. CRR, cash reserve ratio, sometimes known as variable reserve ratio. Another popular technique is SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. Open market operations, repo rate, reverse repo rate, and MSF. It is not a Muslim Student Federation. Don't be confused. MSF, that is the latest monetary policy techniques that used by RBI since 2011. What is the expansion of MSF? Marginal standing facility. Okay, these are the very important points. I will make a separate video for these credit control techniques and their operations. Don't worry. Okay. Then next we can discuss, what about qualitative credit control techniques? It is also known as selective credit control techniques. One point is that quantitative credit control techniques that will affect the whole economic system by making changes in the circulation of money as well as affecting the cost of credit or the rate of interest. But here, it is qualitative or selective credit control techniques. It will not affect the entire volume of credit and cost of credit. It will affect those sectors which those sectors having some problem. That is, we can define qualitative or selective methods of credit control are employed, are used, are adopted for what? To regulate not the volume but the use and direction of credit. That is, through qualitative credit controls, central bank attempts to curb, to regulate or to avoid the use of credit in undesirable ways, that is unproductive ways, and encourages its use for more desirable and more productive uses or purposes. See, what are the major instruments that come under qualitative credit control techniques? We can take, variations in margin requirements, regulation of consumer credit, credit rationing, direct credit control, then moral suasion and publicity. I will repeat: variations in margin requirements, regulation of consumer credit, credit rationing, direct action, moral suasion and publicity. These are the 6 items that come under qualitative credit control techniques. Here we can expect a question like this. See the question. Consider the following monetary policy techniques of RBI. There are 4 variables. 1. Statutory liquidity ratio. 2. Marginal standing facility. 3rd, variables or variations in margin requirements. 4th one, moral suasion. That is, here there is a trick. They just interchanged quantitative and qualitative credit control techniques. They, the questions include the blend or the mixture of these 2 techniques. It is a, very important thing. You can analyze these topics as a pair point of view. That is, quantitative on the one side and qualitative on the other side. See here, which of the above instruments come under the qualitative credit control techniques of RBI? That is, there are 4 variables in which what are the items or techniques that come under qualitative or selective credit control techniques. Don't be confused. So we can take, option A 1 and 2, option B 1 and 3, option C 3 and 4, option D 1 and 4. See, we can take 4 variables. Statutory liquidity ratio, definitely that come under quantitative or general credit control techniques. What about marginal standing facility, MSF, that is also come under quantitative. And variations in margin requirements, obviously that will come under qualitative or selective. So 3 is right. And fourth one, moral suasion, that is also right. So the right option is C, 3 and 4. Okay. Then similarly, we can take another question, very interesting question. Which of the following statements is or are correct regarding the Monetary Policy Committee of India, that is MPC? There are 3 statements. First one, it decides the RBI's benchmark interest rates. Benchmark interest rate means repo rate. That is the key policy rate of RBI. Second statement, it is a 12-member body including the governor of RBI and is constituted every year. Third statement, it functions under the chairmanship of the Union Finance Minister. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Option A, 1 only. Option B, 1 and 2 only. Option C, 3 only. Option D, 2 and 3 only. Here you know what is the right answer. See, you should refer to that topic, Monetary Policy Committee. It is actually recommended by the Urjit Patel Committee. That committee actually constituted by RBI Governor Raghuram Rajan. Then under the Monetary Policy Committee, please understand, it is a committee which consists of 6 members. That is the first fact. So, we can eliminate option or that is statement 2. That is, it is a 12-member body. That is wrong. So, we can eliminate, what? Option B and option D. Why? The wrong statement 2 is there. And what about option that is statement 3, it functions under the chairmanship of the Union Finance Minister. That is also wrong. That is Monetary Policy Committee that functions under the chairmanship of or ex-official chairman is RBI Governor and not Finance Minister. So option statement 3 also wrong. And what about the statement 1? It decides the RBI's benchmark interest rate. That is key policy rate, repo rate. That is right statement. So here the right answer is option A, 1 only. That is statement 2 and statement 3 are wrong. Okay. And please understand, MPC, Monetary Policy Committee has 6 members, in which 3 members from RBI, including the governor, who will be the ex-official chairperson or chairman, and second member, a deputy governor. RBI has 4 deputy governors and 1 officer of the central bank. These are the 3 members from RBI. And the remaining 3 members actually nominated or appointed by the central government. That is, the other 3 members will be appointed by the central government. That is, 3 independent members to be selected by the government. Okay. Now let us discuss what is fiscal policy. See, economic policies that include both monetary policy and fiscal policy. So far we have discussed monetary policy. Now fiscal policy. Let us consider the definition of fiscal policy. The term fiscal policy indicates the policy of the governments with relation to taxation, public expenditure, management of public debt, and thereby either to correct economic evils. Economic evils means, what? Inflation as well as deflation, or accelerate economic growth. That is, fiscal policy adopted by the government may either be expansionary or contractionary in accordance with the circumstances provided in the country. Okay, that is, another important thing is that what are the major instruments or techniques that come under fiscal policy, which is designed by the central government. We can take, four important fiscal policy techniques. Tax action, second one public expenditure, third one public borrowing, and fourth one budget. Okay. Now, we can expect a question. That is, from the question paper you can see there are four variables that may be interchange the variables that come under monetary policy and some variables belonging to fiscal policy. For example, let us consider a very important question, that is, which of the following is not a fiscal policy tools? Please understand, not a fiscal policy tools. ABCD format question. A, tax action, definitely come under fiscal policy. B, open market operations. If you have some doubt, please leave it. That is B, open market operations. And you can take C, public borrowing. Yeah, definitely that come under fiscal policy. And budget, Article 112 of Indian Constitution, that is annual financial statement, which is solely related to central government, union budget. So option A and option C and option D are come under what? Fiscal policy. So open market operations is the right answer, which is monetary policy measure or technique. Okay, now what about fiscal stimulus package and monetary stimulus package? That is also very important. Fiscal stimulus package means government is enlarging their expenditure and also cut the tax. Okay, cutting the tax rate and expanding the government expenditure and thereby accelerate economic growth, boost economic activities and thereby speed up the recovery process of the economy from the slowdown or recession or depression. Okay, for example, what is the typical example for fiscal stimulus package? Stimulus give incentives and boost the entrepreneurs and investors to do more economic activities and thereby generate employment opportunities, enhance income of the people and beef up the purchasing power of the people and so on. See, the latest corporate tax cut from 30% to 22% is the best example for fiscal stimulus packages. Similarly, what about the monetary stimulus packages? In the monetary stimulus packages, it is a part of expansionary monetary policy or accommodative monetary policy in which the RBI is cutting what? Repo rate, or similarly reverse repo rate, MSF, or cut in SLR or CRR, or we can simply say purchasing of government securities as a part of open market operations. And we will discuss all these things. Okay. And in the next video, I would like to explain all these monetary policy techniques. And the typical example for monetary policy stimulus, we can see RBI recently massively reduced the repo rate. That is around 135 basis points. That is 100 basis points is equal to 1%. Please understand. Okay, now we can discuss another simple question, that is, which one of the following statements appropriately describes the fiscal stimulus? See, fiscal policy stimulus. Option A, here in ABCD format. Option A, it is a massive investment by the government in manufacturing sector to ensure the supply of goods to meet the demand surge caused by rapid economic growth. It is not fiscal stimulus, it is a fiscal policy. They are expanding manufacturing sector, but it is not a stimulus. Fiscal stimulus packages that designed by the government during the period of economic slowdown or recession. They gave incentives or boost or encourage the investors, especially private investors, to take economic activities, to expand their economic activities or investment or start up new investment and so on. Okay, so option A is wrong. What about the option B? It is an intense affirmative action of the government to boost economic activity in the country. That is, right option. Option C, it is government's intensive action on financial institution to ensure disbursement of loans to agriculture and allied sectors to promote greater food production and contain food inflation. Food inflation and something like that, that sector that is really come under the monetary policy and so on. Government's intensive action on these not come under monetary stimulus, or that is fiscal stimulus packages. Fourth one, it is an extreme affirmative action by the government to pursue its policy of financial inclusion. That is also incorrect option. So the right option is B. Okay. Now we can conclude the discussion. We have discussed economic policies, monetary policy. The real hero is central bank. In India, it is RBI. The focus is price stability. And fiscal policy, who is the real hero? Definitely it is central government, and the priority is economic growth. And we have discussed monetary policy techniques as well as fiscal policy techniques. If you want to get more ideas about monetary policy and the recent challenges faced by RBI and so on, you can refer to the very beautiful book, written by Raghuram G. Rajan. What is the title of the book? I Do What I Do. It is also a fantastic book. And you can also refer to my book, especially for KAS, that is Indian and Kerala Economy, published by Qualitative University Central Cooperative Store. And for UPSC examinations, this is my another book published by Manorama Books, Indian Economy for UPSC Civil Service examinations. Okay, anyhow, let us conclude. I hope this video is very helpful for you, and please share my video, and you can subscribe my YouTube channel Noushad Chengodan, and you can also visit my website Noushad Chengodan. In the next video, I will upload another topic, very important topic, that is RBI and monetary policy tools, or what are the credit control techniques in very lucid format and with interesting illustrations and number of multiple choice questions. Okay, anyhow, I would like to stop this video, and all the very best. Thank you.